The goal of education is to equip children to flourish as adults, as parents and caregivers to the next generation of youth, as participants in their communities and societies, as active citizens in their polity, and as productive workers in their economy. Hi, my name is Arden Osborne, and it is my honor and privilege to be able to sit here and speak to you today about the imagination and creativity in the education system. I am 19 years old and I am a sophomore at Valdosta State University. And as I have experienced, as I'm sure many of you have experienced as well, as the older you got, the less you used your imagination and the less you used your creativity. As many of you may not know, is that there is a difference between imagination and creativity. Imagination is the thoughts and processes in your head, and creativity is the actual process and hands-on part of your imagination that you use to build new things. When I was in preschool and elementary school, we did many projects that allowed us to use our imagination and to use a hands-on part to be creative, to learn new things and learn new processes. For example, when I was in elementary school, we built maps so that we could learn all about the world and the many continents and the different countries throughout the world. And we also built things like Christmas trees and different things for Hanukkah so we could learn about different religions and different holidays as well. And as I got to middle school, I still used my imagination and my creativity, but I did not use it as much as I did in elementary school. When I was in 8th grade, I built a science fair project so that we could learn about the different sciences and the different things that are in the world. And then when I got to high school, I joined the yearbook, which thankfully allowed me to use my imagination and creativity. But when I got to college, it was all but non-existent. And I'm sure as many of you have experienced this as well, the older you got, the less you used your imagination and your creativity. However, because we use it less does not mean we have less. Many of you believe that children actually have more imagination than we do as adults, but this is actually not true. As adults, we have experienced many more experiences than younger students and younger children, and we have way more knowledge than younger students because we have grown up more than they have, and we are older than they are. People just believe that younger children have more imagination than we do because they exemplify their imagination more. They show the world their imagination more than we do. But this does not mean they have more. As we continue to get older, we believe that it is silly and stupid to use our imagination and creativity because we believe that people are not going to take us seriously and that we're not going to have a good career because we use our imagination and creativity, but this is not true. And people believe that our education system is actually the reason for us not using our imagination and creativity. They think that they stop using stimulating classes that stop us from using our imagination, but we actually, as we get older, it is up to us, and it is up to us as students and adults to go and find where we can use our imagination and our creativity, because you can use your imagination within every subject. There is foreign languages like Spanish, German, and French. There's the arts, there's music, there's all these different classes that high school and middle school actually allow us to use so that we can show our imagination and creativity. But it's not just in those arts that we can use our imagination. We can use it in the sciences to build things that can show how the world works by doing new experiments. We actually have to use our imagination to show the process of how things work. And that's actually the same with math. Before we solve a problem, we have to use our imagination to know how we think we're going to solve the problem. And then we use our creative side by showing the steps on how we go about solving this problem. As we get older, we tend to think that imagination is just about being fun, but this is not true. It's about showing processes and about showing how things work by using our creativity. It is not about thinking about, oh, I'm going to go and color this yearbook, oh, I'm going to pretend like I'm a princess here. No, it is about becoming mature and using our imagination and creativity in different ways. So it is not the education system that is stopping us from using our imagination and creativity. It is us doing it to ourselves because we think that imagination is supposed to be fun and it's supposed to be all about being different colors and using different shapes, but it's not all about that. Imagination can be seen in many different ways. You can use it in math, like I said earlier. You can use it in science. You can use it in language arts by writing different stories and all. And as we grow up, we tend to think that it's the education system that is stopping the stimulating classes from letting us use our imagination. But we, as adults, have to go and find different ways that we can use our imagination. As I have experienced, my parents want me to take classes that just will help me in my career so that I can make more money, because they think that money and having a career that will let me have many different things and have a huge house is what will make me happy. But there's a difference between quantity and quality in life. Quantity is about how much things you have, how much money you have, how big your house is, how much you can show off to the world. But quality is about happiness, reaching your goals, and doing what you want through your career. And many people believe that we should know what we want to do with our lives when we get into 9th grade. They believe that we should be able to tell you what career we want to do, what school we want to go to, and we have to study for all these tests so that we can get into the job that we want to. And our parents and many other adults as well are stopping us from taking the classes that would truly make us happy. They stop us from taking art, they stop us from taking music, because they think that we're not going to make any money in this career, and they think that we're not going to be able to get into a good school because of this. But we have to realize that is not true. We as students get to decide what we want to do with our lives, and we get to decide what school we want to go to and what we want to do at that school. We have to realize it is not the education system that is stopping us from using our imagination and creativity. It is us ourselves stopping our students or stopping our children from using their imagination and creativity, because we want them to have a quantity life. We don't want them to have a quality life. And it is not the education system. It is about showing the education system and showing our parents and all the other adults that we still have imagination and that they still have imagination. It just needs to be seen through education, through math, through sciences, and show them that imagination and creativity is not dead, but is still within us all. And thank you, and goodbye.